This is my BoomStick!
Hey guys, Driven to Conquer here. We are going to go over a really fun build I've been having a blast with, literally, on the PTR. This is a build I was trying to make happen all through Season 21, where I was trying to make it viable to use the Fate of the Fell, Shields of Fury, on top of putting the Ivory Tower on the cube to get those procs. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get that build to go online. There just wasn't enough attack speed with a two-handed. You lost the cooldown reduction, the 15% from Fervor, but with the PTR in the 4th cube slot, you now can do a combination, what I like to call the Ivory Pig Sticker or the BoomStick build. It's really fun. It just helps clear trash. Now this is only a 117. No gems were, I think, over 100. 0 augments on everything. Gear is kind of optimized a little bit to get that cooldown going, but it's really fun. Even though they did add a nerf to the Ivory Tower to where it doesn't scale infinitely, I still have that stupid Templar skill up there for some reason. It still does work. You know, it's proccing every time you get attacked. As you can see, it's just rapid firing still, but it is being capped at 2.5 times damage. But it really just helps the Pig Sticker build kind of come online a little bit for trash clearing. So it's the exact same play style that you're accustomed to with the Pig Sticker. The only thing is that you just now every time you get proc, there's a couple differences I should actually mention. Notice that I am, instead of using blind for shield glare, oh, I died there, that sucked. For shield glare, you are now using judgment, debilitate rune that you would actually use for that original Ivory Tower build. So you can get in there, throw debilitate down, get that Braces of Fury proc going for the immobilized. Notice the little whatever immobilized icon above their heads, the little sprinkly, teal sprinkly things, and that's your signal to go in and start blasting. This build definitely will utilize extra vitality in it just to survive. So it's a weird hybrid thing. You're a hybrid somewhat of the Pig Sticker as well as the Ivory Tower. Instead of Gogook of Swiftness, you don't really need that for cooldown because you don't really want dodge chance, because in your passives and when the skills that we're going to go over here at the end, we will see that you'd use hold your ground to remove your dodge chance but increase your block chance. So we'll get in the build here a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of go through this. We actually got a decent festerings, surprisingly. The Crusader just seems to suffer from, as anyone who plays Crusader in this build, is just mobility. Now granted, I know everyone's like, but the bombardment can clear 135s with no, like, we don't know where the bombardment's going to lie. I hope they don't nerf it into oblivion. I still think it should be viable for next season. But until then, you know, the Crusader has 2 S tier builds right now. The Thorns Bombardment Crusader, obviously, and the Aegis of Valor set is still completely viable, as we're going to see as an RGK. Pretty much any build that you had Season 21 is only going to get more powerful, just due to the 4th cube slot. So really excited for Season 21 to be going on. It's an exciting time to be playing in D3. So the community's growing strong. I've been streaming for about a month and a half now. Been meeting wonderful people in the community. It's been growing really strong. More of these videos are going to be coming out. I'll definitely be playing Crusader next season, just because I've just been having a blast with it. Now, as you can see, I've been able to make the build that I was trying to make the whole time. And I'm sure this was something similar that they were doing in Season 20, when you could put any item in the cube slot. So probably really good. But as you see, look, it's just, even with that skill cap, for the Ivory Tower, for the damage cap 2.5%, it's still proccing. So later on in this video, I will be getting a shield pylon, and you'll see it just melts. Now fire chains are great, especially if you do get a shield pylon, because those fire chains make Ivory Tower just its proc go insane, almost, you know, a semi-auto shotgun going on right now, just blasting. Hence the BoomStick. So as long as you got enough survivability in there with esoteric and enough vitality and even strength, gives you toughness, it is brutal. I did do an experimental test originally where you were using provoke what was it? Hit me, so you got the increased block chance. But honestly, using the Captain Crimson set and the amount of resource cost reduction that the Laws of Valor gives you with the Unstoppable Force rune, it is huge. It doubles your toughness pretty much. So it's enough to get in there, and you have almost 100% uptime on Laws of Valor anyway, so you just have a good amount of toughness. I'm really not playing this Rift too hyper serious. And again, yes, we know Bombardment is crushing it and blah, 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 but it's still nice. I wanted to do more tests. There's enough videos out there of people testing the Bombardment thing. With the Public Realm, I want to kind of experiment with some of these other ones that might kind of go under the radar a little bit. I'm not doing the best job of grouping, but that's just my own play style. With this one, cooldown might seem a little extreme, but you do want at least 65 to 66. I like 67% cooldown. People think that's a little much, but I'm not the most attentive player when it comes to cooldowns. And you will see that there are times where there is a lapse in Akrat's champion just for a second, but you know, nothing that Iron Skin Flash can't cover for. And then you get right back into it and just start blasting. So yeah, even with that nerf to Ivory Tower, you know, is this going to be viable for group builds? No. Is it good for solo pushes? Yeah, it's fun. You know, I've been having a literal blast with it. I'll probably be running this for a while. You know, if Bombardment doesn't get nerfed, I don't really know what kind of message the devs are really trying to send to us. You know, when they nerf Aegis of Valor a little bit here and there, but then they give you the Crusader a bomb class and then kind of leave Wizards to fend for themselves. It's very confusing. So you see I got a shield pylon up. That's very exciting. So we're going to go and try to pull as many mob types as we can towards it. Now, for this season, there is the Shadow Clones going on, but there definitely seems to be a problem with the Crusaders Shadow Clones. There's like one variant that seems to be able to do damage, and it's a hit or a miss. They seem a little busted, so we're going to grab the shield. We lose our mobility through flash, but it's not going to be that big of a problem. We can just step in the middle of all this stuff and let the Ivory Tower do its work. As you can see, we're clearing trash like it's Torment 16 or something like that. So yeah, shield pylons are great, for this build. Just walk in, take all the damage in the world. I walk out of that just simply to try and kill some of these blues that are straggling away and stuff before I lose that missile dampener. And you'll see, my thing's got the blessed hammers going around that are stuck in the shield, but it's not doing nearly as much damage as one would think. Like, I mean, look, this blessed hammer's sitting on that one mob right there. It's just not doing it. I hope they fix it, but I'm not really playing this season to for the Shadow Clones. I'm playing it for the 4th cube slot. I like power that comes from consistency as opposed to RNG power, which seems to be kind of the issue with Season 21's thing. Is like, I got my stacks going, it's gonna roll. What is it? Oh, fire log. Oh, it's meteors that don't hit anything. So anyway, that was fun. We cleared up like 3 or 4 elites right there with that shield pylon. We are using Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose, so we do not get those pylons for as long as we're used to. But I do have a great Flavor of Time. This build could be used for Flavor of Time and Convention of Elements. Or I was using Justice Lantern for a while, thinking that it was really necessary, and it does help. It's not going to hurt, but it is not required. Like I was able to switch out Compass Rose and just for that more consistent damage. And I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Not sure why I'm not just going ahead. That map's not the worst. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of scratching my head on doing something. Maybe I was talking to Chad or something like that. But yeah, 117, not setting the world on fire, but for something with no augments and 0 augments, very low level gems, it ain't too shabby. We're going to continue to test this one out a little bit more. I'm doing, again, more non-bombardment builds throughout this season. I dive because I'm terrible at this game. So But anyway, we're for season 21. I'm right now. I'm at sitting at top 60 with just the pig sticker variant, and oh, this is great, great map. I don't know why I was wasting time on the other one. So this is gonna be awesome. You guys, you just see, pull everything in. My Akrat's Champion's about to go down, though, so I'm gonna kite around a little bit. Try to not get hit by that negative effects on the stone gauntlets. Again, fire change is just rapid firing, melting everything. It's a really fun build. And anyone who liked that Ivory Tower playstyle knows that, from Season 21, knows that the thing that really held you back when you're using two-handed weapons is your cooldown. You couldn't keep Akrat's Champion up, so you would just kind of survive until Akrat's Champion's cooldown was off. Then you throw everything down, run in, and then it would proc to infinity. Still really good playstyle, but then you would suffer when you would get to the Rift Guardian. You're very Rift Guardian dependent. Whereas with this, you still have the functionality of Pig Sticker, and you are not as reliant upon the seasonal theme, and you're able to just go in there and clean house. We are using Bane of the Stricken. I don't really see anything else rolling out unless you're speed farming. Swap it to Bane of the Powerful. But yeah, anytime you can get, like, if you get like Hamlin, I've played this build with Hamlin. It's nuts. He just is, he's gone. Any Rift Guardian that's going to have high attack speed, or at least adds that spawn adds that can proc your shield, it is most excellent. I think I have like 1,000 into Vitality right now, and then maybe like a 1,000 or so, less than 1,000 into Strength. I might be going overkill on some things. Like I said, kind of a lazy play style, but definitely a viable build. We might see it up on the leaderboards. I still think original Pig Sticker with like a Furnace, or even a Khan's Amendum, whatever it is, it could be viable. I'm messing around with those again, more to come. So let's get into the build. Okay guys, let's go over the gear here. So we are definitely using the Aegis of Valor set. We're using 5 pieces there. Trying to roll Heaven's Fury on the shoulders, chest, and offhand if we can. Then we are also, of course, using Braces of Fury, giving us that Heaven's Fury deals 400% increased damage to enemies that are blind, immobilized, or stunned. We're using Debilitate Judgment on this one for solo pushing. On top of the Aegis of Valor, using the 2 pieces of the Captain Crimson's arsenal, or whatever it's called. That, of course, is giving huge damage, and then also huge damage reduction anytime we pop our Laws of Valor, which is going to give us reduced resource cost by 50%, as you see when you pop it. Double your toughness. I had a variant where I used Provoke to get more block chance, and works okay, but this one definitely edges out in that one. We're of course using a Pig Sticker. Having Vitality on it's not too bad, because we definitely want some survivability when we go into the mobs. We're of course using the Shield of Fury. Got some good rolls on this one. Not ancient, but stats are pretty important. Only get rid of that gain life per Fury spent for crit chance or resource cost or what have you. We are using Compass Rose and Traveler's Pledge. Trying to get good rolls on these is very, very important. Lucked out on that one, so had to use that one. What else? Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, pretty standard. Could get some better rolls on that as well. Again, not very many ancients, but the stats are pretty optimized. For gems, we're using Esoteric. We are using Bane of the Stricken, and we are using Bane of the Trapped. Again, very standard. People like to think you could substitute Goguk with it, but that's going to counter synergize with your Ivory Tower, which I guess will segue us into what is in the cube. In our cube, we have Fate of the Fell, we have Stone Gauntlets, Ring of Royal Grandeur, of course, and then the Ivory Tower, which is giving us those tasty procs. Now, from what I've understood is that there is a nerf to it to where it's not going to stack infinitely when you are being attacked by a single target. But what it feels like definitely is that it will still proc per attack. So if you're getting attacked by multiple enemies, a big mob, or even a lightning attack or something like that, that's proccing attacks that hits on you very frequently, that will stack up to the 2.5 times damage per attack that you get hit with. So if you get hit with something that's damage over time, it feels like it is proccing a lot. And as you can see in that video, using a shield pylon is very beneficial when you get a good mob together. You can just run in there, lay your damage out, survive everything, stand in the middle of fire chain, stand in whatever you want, and that's going to just continue to proc that 2.5 times. Now again, yes, it's got nerfed, but you're not losing damage by having this, unless you want to throw a furnace in there, which I'm sure that variant's just great. Anyway, let's get into the skills as we move forward. So of course, Fires of Heaven, Heaven's Fury is our main attack. Flash, Iron Skin to move through mobs and keep us alive if there's any cooldown problems. Fist of Heaven's Fissure is going to give us our stacks on top of give us our resource regeneration. You throw two things between mobs, try to keep your stack up. It goes up to 3 when you're laying out damage. Then on top of that, we're using Laws of Valor, which is going to give us that resource cost reduction, which is going to give us huge amount of toughness, and just be able to spam our manual BoomStick. And then I like to use Judgment Debilitate. If you're running like straight RGK in a group, there's definitely some mods. I'll be coming out with a video for that. But for Debilitate, it's just really nice. Easy casting, larger casting area. It is maybe a little harder to see as opposed to blinding them, but you just see the little teal little specks floating above their head to let you know that they're immobilized. And on top of that, they're going to be dealing 40% reduced damage, which is good for us when we stand in the middle of those huge mobs. And we are using Akrat's champion, Prophet, going through the passives. Fervor, which this one's huge. This is why it kind of edges out for variations that are trying to use two-handed stuff. You just don't have that attack speed there. You lose this in order to put on Heavenly Strength. You're losing not only 15% attack speed, but that 15% cooldown as well. Of course, Finery. This one we're using Hold Your Ground. I could see an argument for possibly using a Hellfire Amulet to throw in Indestructible for just a little more survivability, and getting rid of Traveler's Pledge and putting on that Hellfire Amulet with good godly rolls, hopefully, and then maybe using a Unity or a Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, or no, excuse me, oh geez, what is it? Justice Lantern, or even a Convention of Elements. And then our favorite, Holy Cause. Increase your weapon damage by 10%, and then whenever you deal holy damage, you heal up to 1% of your total life, which is huge. Huge, huge, huge. So there is definitely, this is just a really fun variant that I found. I was trying to make this work all through Season 21 while using two-handed weapons, but as I said, the attack speed is really not there, even when you max out cooldown on everything. Here, you know, 66 is, I wouldn't go any lower than this. Even with this, it sometimes lapses a little bit, and it's just a little bit short of being 100% uptime, because you're traveling, you're finding mobs, you're very slow, and you're trying to throw this out to proc Obsidian Ring to keep that going, but every now and again you gotta throw on a Iron Skin to wait for the lapse of Akrat's champion, because this is not a 100% uptime, as opposed to the Akon set, which you can balance that out to about 55% cooldown reduction. And yeah, it's just not there. So even with the attacks, this is still manageable for kind of a sloppy playstyle like me. If you're really, really tight on your cooldowns, then of course you probably go a little less cooldown, but honestly, I would like even to squeak it up to 67%. Felt really, really comfortable, but I lost it on a piece somewhere. But anyway, guys, I hope the build is fun if you try it out. It's always nice to see those spikes of Heaven's Fury, you know, shotgun blasting out when you're getting procced. The survivability that Laws of Valor gives you, and with the Debilitate, is very huge. But anyway, I want to say thanks for checking out the video. Catch me at Twitch, twitch.tv/driven2conquer, and I'll catch you guys in Sanctuary. Have a good day.